Well, hello, everybody. Oh, boy. Oh, don't mind me. I was just stretching there. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Trooper 6. This is Let's Paint and episode 2 of our Flesh Terror. I think now is going to be a good time to break out the Flesh Terror Red contrast paint. And we'll just start up. So it's been a week. For me, it's been like 2 minutes. How's everybody doing? You doing good? Doing great? Grand? Wonderful? Cool. Awesome. I hope so. If not, that's a goddamn shame. All right. And we're just going to slap this stuff on. Nice chill day. Everybody's been chill. Everybody's been great. My God, that sounded terrible, didn't it? Oof. This contrast paint is, I want to say, coming off a little thin. Maybe I just spread it too thin. It's okay to spread it. You spread it nice. You spread it too thin, and it can't get in there. All right, I'm going to cut myself off before I go. I just keep going. I give my wife hell for that. I'll just start saying stuff, and then I just keep going. And I realize she hasn't stopped me. So I just keep going. And if she does not stop me after a minute or two, I'm like, you realize I'm going to keep talking until you shut me up, and I'm going to keep saying more and more ridiculous shit, because now I'm just wondering, how much can I say before you're just like, oh my God, shut up. It's kind of a fun little game of mine. If you don't think it's fun, well, I don't care. It's not your life. You're not married to me. Okay? I got two wives. My wife and my work. Because if you're not married to your work, and I don't mean your 9-to-5 job out there, I'm not going to advocate that you need to be married to your damn job out there. I'm not sure that would do you any good. I don't know. You could advocate that there would be any good to it, but before we get into all that nonsense, I am definitely, I would say, married to my hobby because I love it. This is the greatest job I've ever had. And those people who say, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, are kind of full of shit. Kinda. I understand the thought process and whatnot, and I think I think what they were trying to say was any of the work you'll end up putting into it is forgivable. Like when it really starts to feel like a job some days, it gets forgivable because you love it. And I think that was the point. Not that every single day will be like, hey, amazing. If it is, I mean, fucking great. The hell, dude, there are totally days where I don't want to paint. Or I don't want to paint that. Like when I was doing the hell is it? The salamander. I really didn't feel like painting him, man. I didn't want to do that chapter because I found no interest in it. I don't connect with them all that much. They protect humanity. Oh, hip hip fucking hooray. This is the grim darkness of the far future. As much as I don't want complete and utter bleakness 24/7. It's a double-edged sword for me. I do like the odd, inspiring story in 40K, or the one that does shine with a little bit of hope. But you need that every now and then, I think, in almost anything out there. Especially in something like 40K. If everything is just so bleak, have a little ray of sunshine and happiness. Like, for instance, Hell's Reach. I can really only go off of the YouTube movie that was made, Because I'm sorry, I still have not gotten around to reading Hell's Reach. It is a big book, and I've got other things on my plate. We could talk about the books that I am reading in just a minute. But, that story, even with the little ray of sunshine that I find Andre to be, he has a very tragic part in that story. Yet I still find the fact that he survived all the better. To me, it brings me happiness knowing that he lived through all of that. And the worst he got was a headache. And just like Romaldus, it made me smile. When he's like, "Did you not get injured at all?" And he's like, "No, I had a headache, but then it went away." Like that is fantastic. Andre, full on my favorite character in all of Warhammer. Even above Gabriel Seth. Because Andre is just that awesome shining beacon. He's so awesome. He's so great. I wish he could be a reoccurring character. If he is, I don't know about it, obviously. If he is not a reoccurring character, I am going to throw my hat out there or in there to be the writer that gives him a series. I would love to do that. Absolutely. Let me be the guy. I am your man, GW. I will honor and cherish him forever and ever because he is Andre and he's fantastic. Hell, dude, I even named my current D&D character after him. He is Andre Toma. Toma. Toma actually being from a Pussifer song. But, sorry, I'm trying to really, really get in there, and I'm not even looking at the camera to make sure I'm really... Okay, I'm dead center. Perfect. So, what was I saying? Yeah, Andre, I love you. You're awesome. Keep being the badass that you are, and bring some Tylenol to the battlefield. I hope you got that caffeine like the captain promised you. 3 more times must die before I get the caffeine the captain promised. I almost did a bit on this show that was going to be me and Andre, and I was gonna have to do both voices and whatnot. And I kind of wishing I did. And I still might now that it's been spoiled and ruined. But I love it. I love Andre so much, as I've already stated like more than once. But even in my little 40K group, my high school friends, we have enjoyed many laughs over me just doing Andre impersonations or impressions. I mean, there are various things. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing that stuff because he's Andre. He's fantastic. Get that right in there. Whew, man, this contrast paint, real easy and quick to apply. It's been fun. I almost forgot about his butt. His little butt flap. Look at that. Look at that. Did you know, back in high school, when I thought I was a punk, and it turns out I was just a very eager poser, like any of them back then. Oh, dude, that's so punk rock. No, you're not. You're so not. No matter what you say, you are not punk rock, dude. If you weren't around in the 80s, you're probably not punk rock. Either way, before that tangent goes crazy and any wannabe punk rockers like, yeah, man, I'm punk rock. Whatever, dude. If you can explain to me what punk is, great. If you can't, great. Doesn't matter. I've damn near forgotten what I was going to say now because I got so sidetracked with that tangent. So, fuck it. Maybe it'll come back to me in a minute. Oh, right, the butt flap. Yeah, I used to dress impeccably. And yeah, I only have shaky hands when it comes to these little things. I think it's because I'm just pinched and I'm really, really trying to hold it. I'm not squeezing for dear life, but Jesus. I hate dropping these parts. Especially on like an unprotected gun mat that I'm using. That's right, I am. But don't worry, folks, I'm a professional. I got this. And if you're lucky, we might even do happy little blood splatters. Because we don't have trees. Or we might have happy little razor wire. Ah, see? I did it. I fucking did it. I knew it would do it, and I did it. Doesn't matter. Smooth it out. Put it on the tray. We'll be fine. Moving on. Yeah, like I said, I used to dress a little eccentrically, and a part of my attire was something called a butt flap. I kid you not. If you go, I don't know if they still sell them, but if you go to like Angry Young and Poor, totally ironic. I love the audacity of that site. Totally playing off of the pure. This is a good example of pure stupidity on behalf of the so-called punk rockers who actually buy from that shit. So nothing against the company, really. Business is going to be business, and they're going to market however they want. But you're called Angry Young and Poor, and they make punk rock clothes and goth clothes. Dude, you cannot be poor to order from that. That shit is so damn expensive. It is so expensive. And the quality is not the best. I would know. I've worn it. But yeah, they used to sell butt flaps. And I don't know if they still do. If they do, that's fucking funny and awesome and fantastic. And if anybody wants a good time, I suggest you wear that for no reason. It attaches to your belt loops. On the back of your hips. And there you go. You got a butt flap. And it comes in different plaids. And you can get it, I think, in a solid color. So it could really go with anything. Just what a punk needs. God, those were the dumb-ass days. Part of me still misses my yellow plaid pants that I had. Yeah, they were ridiculous, but I love them. So stupid. So punk, dude. So punk. But yeah. My God. I feel like there's 5 tangents I could have gone on. But you know what? To jump again, I just looked down. I'm even wearing my Flesh Terror shirt. It's a custom Flesh Terror shirt that I made. So I don't know if I can see this. Yeah. My Flesh Terror shirt. Woohoo! I custom made that on a very popular site. I don't know if I can get in trouble for saying all that shit. I don't know. You know what? I wouldn't have had to do it if Games Workshop just fucking made things. It drives me nuts. For a business, they just haven't done, in my opinion, they haven't done proper merchandising or capitalized on merchandising to the fullest potential that they could. For instance, fucking t-shirts. Just some fucking t-shirts, man. That's all you need. Some fucking t-shirts. Not just t-shirts. Fucking t-shirts. Alright? You know how much money you would make just from having some fucking t-shirts? God, just put the Aquila on them and bam, you will make so much money. Even the Chaos players would get it. And of course, your Games Workshop, so they'd be fucking expensive too. As if $20 for a shirt wasn't enough. Oh, hell no. I know that shit's going to be $30 because it's Warhammer. And it's officially licensed. So it's going to be $30. But you know what? We will buy it. You know we will. I have spent far more than $30. I've spent a couple $100 making custom t-shirts alone. And I have more than just t-shirts. I have 2 custom blankets. They're fleece blankets. One is a flesh terror, and the other one is a world eater, because I believe my daughter to belong to the world eaters. She is my happy little monster. She is fantastic, but she is totally a world eater. That is nothing against her at all. That is not a jab at my own kid. I am very proud of her being a world eater. One day, of course, if she even cares and likes Warhammer, I will absolutely have her, I guess, pick. I will ask her a series of questions, just like the Harry Potter houses. Like I've said before, figure out not what your house is, but what your chapter is. And then, of course, take your bias into consideration. Like, all right, now that all has been said, what the fuck do you think yours is? What do you think? I'm going to reopen this and get the insides of those shoulders just to be safe. But yeah, so I have all this custom shit. I have 2 or 3 custom Warhammer just Flesh Terror shirts. I have a Night Lord shirt. I have a World Eater shirt from my daughter. It was a 2T. I had a onesie made as well, and that is put in a shadow box with her birth picture, and some little socks and a little Rattler toy because we're fucking cute. And I did the same thing for my son because we actually brought him home. We brought him home in a Fulgrim onesie. Now, the reason behind this, so get this, there's a little insight into me and my family and me and my wife's crazy thoughts. When it came to baby names, you already know where I'm going with this. Yes, we honestly considered naming him Fulgrim. I even have a baby blanket, a little fleece baby blanket with the name fucking Fulgrim all over it. I got that to symbolize to my wife that is it, that our mind is made up and that we did it. That's going to be his name. But it never quite felt right. We liked it, but there was still this weird stigma to it. We didn't really give 2 shits of what other people thought. Of course, anyone we had talked to, they went, oh, okay. Like, they were so excited. Oh my God, you picked a name. Yeah, what is it? Fulgrim. Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And I guess you would have thought that, hey, don't do that. You're going to ruin your kid's life. Dude, it's a goddamn name, and I have met some stupidly named people. All right? I really want to give some examples. But we're going to sidestep that one. Some stupid names out there. Good Lord. Not just in names, but in spelling as well. So I really didn't care or want to hear when people were like, I think you're going to do your child a disservice by naming them. I'm like, all right, dude, piss off. What am I supposed to name them? What am I supposed to do? Go with some goddamn boring-ass biblical name? Oh, hey, Peter. Hey, John. Paul. What the hell am I supposed to do here? Or am I going to try to be edgy and go with Dex or Xander? No offense to anybody named these names, of course, okay? I have known quite a few people named all these except for Dex and Xander. I did know a Xavier, I want to say, although I'm not even sure that was his real fucking name. I think he was just trying to feel cool. But I swear, man. So we were going to go with Fulgrim. I had certain things made, and he's just not a Fulgrim. I'm going to keep his name private. Because, that's my family. But we chose something, and a lot of people think it's from a movie series. It technically is. I just love the name, and then so did my wife. So that's the name that we chose, and it totally makes sense. It totally fits him, but it also gave me an idea of what chapter he just might be. But like I said, I'm going to let him pick that out one day. And we didn't bother getting the onesie and putting that in the shadow box because we have one for him too. No, I stuck with the Fulgrim one, the Emperor's Children onesie, because we actually brought him home in that. So we decided to just do that. I already had the damn thing made. I spent like $20 on it. So I was like, whatever, he's gonna wear it home because I already did it. And it was more of like an homage, like, hey, this was almost your name. And one day I'll tell him that. And if he likes it, well, great. If not, it doesn't matter because it's not your name. Ooh. But hopefully he picks whatever the hell he really wants to pick when it comes to his chapters. And that's, of course, assuming that they even give a shit. Okay, I won't be shocked at all if my kids don't care about Warhammer. Will it be upsetting? A little. Because that'll be one less thing that we could, bond over. But hey, how am I going to know what the hell the future holds? Maybe they will be obsessed with it to the point where I'm like, oh my god, get over it. Probably not. It probably wouldn't happen. They'd probably tell me to get over it, honestly. I don't know. They'd probably do that to Mass Effect. If anybody knows me, I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. I absolutely love just about everything Mass Effect. Except for saying the future is femshep. I fucking hate that sexist shit. Okay, the future is Mass Effect. How about we just do that? Or the future is Shepard, and you just leave it neutral like that. And it's going to mean whatever it wants to you. It doesn't have to be this specific thing, okay? Because if I did the future is male Shep, you'd have a fucking problem with that, wouldn't you? And don't tell me you wouldn't. If you didn't have a problem with it, then you wouldn't have had a problem with either of them in the first place because it doesn't matter. And you're the people I like. But the people who just have to have one way or another, like the Force is you piss off with that shit. Okay, the Force is the Force. You're doing it to be edgy and to get a rise out of people, which it obviously worked. But who the hell cares? I digress. That is not the point of any of this stupid shit. Let people do what they want. So, fuck it. That's what you want? That's what you want. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, like I've said, I would be oh man, I forgot to clean that off. I forgot to clean off the little clippings. You gotta be kidding me. I noticed that the other day, doing one, I noticed that an elbow on a Marine still had the clip mark sticking out, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I forgot to trim that. How embarrassing. And that always happens after I've finished it and I've recorded a little video on the turntable and I show it off. There is when I notice. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. Got to be fucking kidding me. Mm-mm-mm. All right. So these are looking done now. Those hoses I was going to do in the darker color. And I think I will. Just to give it more of a contrast balance there. But to do all the rest of the trim work, because I'm not going to bother breaking that out just yet, we're going to go with the really small. This is a 0? Yeah. We're going to go with the 0 for this one. So we're going to need this fine point, because now we're just jumping in and doing this. All this trim work is going to be painted silver, because once we're done, it'll look pretty damn nice. It's going to look fancy schmancy, and he's going to be a bright little fresh dog with the little fancy stuff. Look at them fancy pants. Well, fancy crotch, I should say, since this is the crotch overhang. And I'm doing under here as if anybody was going to see that. But I will, because I pick up my models all the time, and I look at them, and I oogle at them, because, you know, I have no life. And I do them too. And if you don't pick up your models and oogle at them, I call you a liar. Or maybe you really don't. Maybe you are that 1% weirdo that does not just pick up his model and oogle at it when it's on the shelf and you haven't looked at it in a long time. You're just like, yeah, whatever. Or maybe you go by the shelf and you just look at it, but you don't pick it up, because that would just be self-indulgent. I don't know. All I know is I'm being ridiculous. I can hear it. I can hear my wife in the background. Oh, shut up. Why you being extra? Because I like being extra. If I wasn't extra, what would I be? I'd be bland. And there's enough bland people in the world. There's totally enough extra people in the world, and so fuck them. But I don't know. I was about to say, I haven't annoyed anybody yet. Oh, yeah, the fuck I have. Yeah, I have. But I think in response to that, I would say, hey, ask me if I care. Right there. You know, I was totally about to ask what people's music choices are for the day. Like, hey, what are you painting to? Obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably painting to this. Which, if you are, fucking awesome, man. Thank you. If you're not, if you're just watching, that's fantastic. If you're just listening, well, aren't you into podcasts? Which, of course, like everyone in this day and age, I have considered doing a podcast. But the people I've wanted to do a podcast with are kind of unavailable to do that. And I don't want to do it by myself. I don't. Because I know anybody would just say, well, dude, just do it by yourself. Maybe you can get someone on as a co-star later. And I don't want to. Never wanted to do that by myself. Hell, I would love someone to sit here and paint with me. during this, and then what do you know? It would be like a podcast anyway, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Can't forget about that little hose. That little hose right there. Right there. Man. I was about to comment on the day. And then I thought, dude, don't jinx anything. Not that I'm particularly superstitious like that. But also, since today is recording day, I don't feel like taking any chances. Boom, 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 boom. All right. You know what? You see that little circle right there? I'm going to get it. I got it. I'm going to get it because I felt like it. So that little hose. All right. Should I do the collar? It's technically not a separate piece. I don't know. I've gotten it before on others, but that was a different mark. That was a different armor mark. We're going to leave it. We're not touching it. If you think too much on it, it just might not turn out the way you want it to. All right. I'm trying to not let this paint go to waste. There's not that much on the palette, but it is semi starting to dry in places, and we are actually running a bit late on this episode. It's okay. Just like episode 1, we'll finish off with the helmet. So I guess right now I want to thank everyone for stopping by yet again. If you made it this far, please like, comment, share, subscribe, everything under the sun. Call to arms, people, or call to action. By all means, share this with some people. If you got friends that are big Flesh Terror fans, you know, let them know they're not alone. Especially if being a Flesh Terror is a personal thing to them. Like I've discussed before. If that is a personal experience or reasoning behind you being a Flesh Terror, hi. You and I are very much alike. I still plan on getting the Flesh Terror logo tattooed on my left shoulder, on the outside of my arm, where you would have an insignia. But there we go. Now we got to do those yellow eyes, and the helmet will be done. Besides dry brushing, which of course we were going to do. It'll be a little tricky. Ooh, I forgot the top of those thighs. So since there's not much to it, we're going to do that real quick, and then we will call it. So, haha. And it's okay if the episode goes just a little bit longer, because, I mean, what the hell difference does it make? Alright. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's so awesome. Try to get the top a little bit. Give it some depth. Because the plate does go like that. Do you guys make your models that extra? I guess it depends on the chapter. If it calls for it, it calls for it. But I mean, seeing some chapters that are very simple, I always wonder if people make them extra just because. Like hell. Well, I was going to say the Cacarodons. I make them extra. But I actually have not seen anybody who doesn't make them extra. Still need to do the chainsaw. Good lord. Well, that's for another day. Either way, that wraps it up for this episode. Look at that. Look at that. Friggin' awesome, dude. But I'll see you guys on the next. Until then, take it easy. Void Father, guide their brushes. Until then, peace!